Introducing the International Endurance Series by Low Fuel Motorsport. Teams will compete for a total prize money of €15,000 over the course of 5 unique endurance events. In each event, teams will face a different challenge. Rarely driven cars, dynamic weather conditions, stretching tire life, or reversed grids. Teams will have to be adaptive to come out on top of their competitors and claim victory in the International Endurance Series by Low Fuel Motorsport. The stage is set, and the final chapter of the Lian International Endurance Series is about to begin. 2 gripping 3-hour races at the iconic Monza circuit. Behind the wheel, the Porsche 911 GT2 RS. But there's a twist. The weather is anyone's guess. With random conditions throughout each race, the drivers will have to react, adapt, and survive. This isn't just a race, it's a test of endurance, a test of bravery. We will rise to the occasion in the final showdown. You won't want to miss this. Stay tuned and watch the action unfold.
Who will survive the randomness? Welcome everybody, we are here. We are at the very last day of our championship in the International Endurance Series by Lian. And tonight we will see our championship winner. But until then, we have not only one but 2 different races with random conditions, with a very odd car, with a very unusual car rather. And everyone is already on the grid, so it's going to be a quick studio this time around. Let me just pick everything up. Okay, everything works. And we are here to look at who is going to survive the randomness, who is going to survive Monza, who is going to survive the Temple of Speed, who is going to survive at all. But here we are, into the first race. We go into our grid as Lian Bert in the Alien by Nitro Concepts will start in first place, ahead of everybody else. George Booby, that was a bit of a lag. For 255 competition by Go Setup starts in the 255 in second place. Lady Makovkin in third place in the Crazy Life Racing Team 745. Usually in the Aston, now they are in a Porsche as Niklas Huben, Team Nitro. Number 22 will start in fourth place. Jay O'Sullivan for Visceral Esports, number 45, fifth place for the red and white team. Marco Lomi, Dice Competitions, with a very retro livery. That's a very nice one, I'll be honest. And Tinko van der Velde in the Williams Sim Racing, number 420, seventh place. Then we got the 258 LFM Esports in 8th place, with the 204 starting in 9th place. That's a Gladiator competition driven by Shubek, Polovchuk, and Pozniakov. Then 10th place for 255 competitions by Go Setup. And the 257 starts for LFM Esports in 11th place, just outside the top 10. We're 45.9. Then we get into the 46s with Hoplite Esports team. Yesterday in qualifying, they made it in 12th in the single shot qualifying. Then the Gladiator competition, third car in top 15, 13th place for them, with Orasev, Polyakov, and Kolosov, the Armamentario. Not anymore the Audi, but the Porsche. Jardia Community will start in 15th place without a valid lap time in their qualifying session in the Super Pole. Then just outside the top 15, League Esports, just missing out in the number 6. The 202 will start in 17th place with a 46.355. Skidmark Racing, the iconic orange and blue livery, will start in 18th, and number 42. Then we have number 46, which is not QRT in real life, but it's Visceral Esports in 19th place. Then we've got the orange and black Dum Dum and Dumber 115 in 20th place, And Team Racing Point will start in the car number 85, the first place. Raggioli Racing, only 22nd. They will have to make a lot of ground to get some important positions. Then 23rd place for Dynamic Motorsport by Kalinic, with the triple one that didn't set a time. And another surprise, Velocitas Masters, number 55, only 24th without a valid lap time. And even for Future Racing Esports, not a valid lap time. 93 will start in 25th place. Then we get outside the top 25. Out in Q1 was Brabham Motorsport, just missing out. Even for them at 46.2. Really think the first turn as the major one. And then the number 23 Lian, surprise of the day, because they will start in 27th. Rarijo will start in 28th. Flyby per Cryonics will start in 29th in the 777. And there is still a good long way to go. 30th place for NRL Roar, as they will start in 30th. 31st for RCI Esports, 46.7 on the grid. Team Heaven Motorsports, usually in the McLaren, but this time still in the rear end engine. 32nd. FIFA Racing Academy, number 11, 33rd place for them. And then Top Racing TV, just in 34th, with the first time of 48.1. 081 Competizioni, 869, 35th place for them. We got the Dynamic MS Youngstars, 222 without a valid lap time. And many cars are in the very tail end of the field. There is BS Plus competition. This is a major one because they usually end up in the podium. And we have both BS Plus competition number 89 and Visceral Esports number 44 starting at the very tail end of the field. Madcap Racing 312, 39th place for them. And number 69, it is Pit Speed Racing with 5 German drivers in the car. Ora Racing 48, number 41 in the grid, and then completing the field. It is the SRC that doesn't have even a layout. Does it go back in live? Back at the very front of the field. Monza, Temple of Speed. I just have a couple of seconds to show you the standings at the moment in... I literally have like seconds to see them, but I don't know why it's not. Please be quick, thank you. Team Nitro number 22 is ahead of everybody else, nearly 50 points ahead of their sister team number 21, and BS Plus competition in third, nearly 100 points behind. They have to make a lot of ground. And then the 201 and the number 44 completing your top 5. Apologies for being a quick studio, but theoretically I had to have 10 minutes to say these things. Now I have 10 seconds roughly. And it's very important for, well, it was very important for BS Plus competitions because the points up for grab are in 2 different races. Remember that the full grid will be reversed in race number 2. So there is still time to hope. Now the number 22, which actually starts very late in the grid, could have... apologies, the number 23 starts very late in the grid. The number 22 starts in third. They may have an easy time here in the Temple of Speed. We are in Monza, we are in Lombardy, we are in one of the most famous tracks in the whole world. And we are in the final day. Not the final race, that one will be in 3.5 hours. But we are now starting the day that will put a winner in our minds. And it's green light and away we go. Nice start by Tasher. Already a car length ahead. A very good start by the number 22. Not really a good start by the number 745, which actually finds himself in 5th place already. We have a good view from the top of the air thanks to the heli shot, but you can see all the cars going side by side into turn 1 and then 2, the first chicane. Everybody seems to go, oh never mind, there is a lot of contacts, there is a yellow flag, I can see a car that spun in the background, but at the very top of the field, Tauscher remains ahead of everybody else by more than a car length, and then Abuladze is already defending against the number 22 behind, and then Shea O'Sullivan is sitting in 4th with the car number 201 in 5th, just behind O'Sullivan in the car 45, and then there is a overtake there for 10th place as Polyakov managed to get just there, nearly on the outside, completely over the AstroTurf for Gaskell against Bykov, who started very high in the standings, in 3rd place. Now they are ready in 8th, losing a good chunk of positions, 5 to be exact. And I don't think it's over for the team that is defending against Van de Velde in the Williams car 4-0, although without the Williams car, not any free wide, nearly into the entry of Ascari as Pepin goes for G-League Esports on the AstroTurf. A bit cheeky, a bit abusing track limits, but a position is a position, and in these first moments it's essential to make it ahead as soon as possible, as Bykov gets a position done, and there is a contact there, 6 wide. I don't even know how many cars are there in a single pocket of space, as one of the Gladius cars, I think it was the 203, losing several positions from that contact. Now the 16th placed car has to make back the ground they have lost. Free wide, I can't even speak anymore. Free wide, just behind with 58, Rajoli taking a place out of Bob Skidmark Racing and LFM on the rightest part of the racetrack, and now they are in 12th place. They were in 22nd at the very start of the race. Now they find themselves in 12th, and still with a good chunk of position to make, as we see Bykov losing the position on, there is a car going extremely wide. I don't know which car it is. I can't really pinpoint which car it was. I think it was Barrier in the chicane, and don't know if they gained any position. It was a bit confusing to see at that point. I think they just gained a place for a brief moment, and then the rain appears, because yes, random weather is a thing. Rain appears for possibly not more than 10 minutes, but they will have to slow down the pace. The issue is that nobody will slow down, everybody will go 100% all the time. Well, 100% possible, or even not possible. At this point, I don't even know what is possible and what is not possible, as we go back in 4th place, because O'Sullivan is very, very close to make it in the 3rd place. Tobias Gronwald for Nitro Racing, they have the championship in their hands, so they don't have to risk anything major. They can give positions away completely the other way in this pocket of space, where Seminara is now back in 14th place, just in front of Brabham, number 52 in 15th place, and Barrier gaining the place on Bykov for Crazy Life Racing, who is practically bleeding positions since the very start of the race. They were starting in 3rd, now they are back in 17th place, now 18th, as the Veloce car gets the inside line and overtakes the Crazy Life car. As we go back in here, we fortunately lost the switch of positions from 3rd to 4th for Nitro Racing. Huge apologies, but obviously there are a lot of things going on, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep track of everything, as Rogero gets a position down on Polyakov. That's for 10th place on the inside of Lesmo 1. 10th place for the car that started in 22nd place. And now they are back in the top 10, as Tobias Gronwald is on the slipstream and keeping it here, as I'm just noticing that the nation is on. Useless, and the manufacturer is also on, so it's completely useless. Now it's better. As you can see there, Gronwald on O'Sullivan. Can he take back the place? He does get back on the podium. He gets back third place. Well position, one lap. Yes, that was a very nice performance. Oh, such a fun yellow flag. Hit into the wall. And the 257 is done on the front of the car. What happened there? You can see a quick replay of the action. Was it a contact? Oh, it was... I think it was... Yes, it was clear a contact. Oh, it was Arno completely putting the LFM car onto the wall. That was not a great move. And I think Race Control will be quite angry with that. We go back live with LFM. Another LFM car, this time the number 45 in 4th place. Thinking about an overtake that doesn't happen. They will remain in 4th place. Marco Lomi starts to gain some places and some seconds, some tenths. And make it, I would say, 3 different things at once. Papin gets the position done on Van de Velde. And Seminara cuts the chicane completely and keeps the position. Number 13. Maybe Race Control will say something about it. The TC bug in quality. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Well, many will say skill issue, but... By the way, here the BS Plus competition makes another place. They were starting 18 positions behind. Now they are in 19th place. They were starting in 37th place. Osterman already putting the car in 19th. That's a great performance up so far. I thought Rodone was into the gravel. I think it was actually the 116 to the gravel. Look at it, on nearly losing the position on Axman for Fifi Racing. As he defends against said Porsche. And Papin goes into the pits. And same for Ruggero. Was it a drive-thru? Or are they going into the pits to change tires? I think they are going into the pits to change tires. Not completely sure, but for now we remain in this little fight. Double, side by side. Luke Edison and Gabriele Rosone ahead of McConnell and Axman. As Rosone takes the position number 19 and he goes completely wide. And the rain is starting to create some trouble for some drivers. You can see all the people that cut the per chicane without grip in the tires. Oh, that's the car going extremely wide and losing 2 places. That was Rosone losing 3 places after going very wide. Maybe trying the position on the inside. He thinks about it. There is a contact with the Fisher Racing car, and by doing so, he actually nearly loses the place on Polovchuk behind in the 200, in the 204, and the 204 effectively overtakes Rosone, that again lost 2 places by going wide, and that very same Gladius competition now gains the place on Axman in the Fisher Racing. Maybe gains 2 places as he tries the overtake on McConnell. For Variggio does so. Another position done for Gladius, going sideways on the Ascari. He somehow remains on track, but we have to cut to get back into the front of the field because Gronwald is now very close to the car up ahead. That's for 2nd place. That's not a very useful camera. As Gronwald for Nitro Racing, they are the leader in the championship. And they make the advantage last even longer. The 11 is showing yellow flags for some reasons, as Gronwald gets a position done. Oh, he goes wide. Oh, Gronwald goes wide. And he will have to give back the position, so he goes back in 3rd, and same happens to the 255. That's M. Gaskill. Apologies, that's Reynolds. Reigns. Yes, it is Reigns. Going back to 7th. As everybody is... Oh, that's a position done again. The double adds lost the place on Gronwald, and Lomi was trying the position on Sullivan. Can he gain 4th place as he does so into Lesmo 1? Track is completely wet. The rain clearly is not stopping. And only 2 drivers chose to... Oh, Sacha Wagner! Another yellow flag moment for the 257. What happened here? It was all on their own. Going way too late on the brakes. Contact with the Gladius car. No major incident though. It's a loss of a couple of positions. As Chris Warner for Brabham is now 46. Oh, there's a contact, and there's a car sitting in the middle of Ascari. There's a car number 46. Making contact with another car. We can see what happened. So it was the number 46, just behind BS Plus competition. Lost the rear end of the car, went to the gravel, came back on the racing track, and got hit massively by another car. That was the Gladius competition. I think it was Zimbal, the 202. Maybe it was, yeah, I think it was the 204. Yeah, it was definitely the 204 because Osterman is ahead of them. The 204 now has heavy front-end damage to their car. And possibly they will have to repair that. I would like to see what's happening in the background of the field because a couple of teams went into the pits. 10-second penalty for Brabham Motorsport. Very unfortunate. They were in a very important position up so far. And they still are. They are in 10th place. The 10-second penalty will ruin their pace. As I wanted to go back to... Let me see. So... 5 teams, or 4 teams, apologies, went in the pits. And G League really changed the tires. They are lapping in 53 point... Ooh, okay. That's an important thing to say. As Creative Life Racing gains another place on barrier for Jardier community. So a little insight on what's happening behind everybody. We've got G League that waited a minute to change tires, but they are now lapping an entire 10 seconds quicker than the last placed car and around 5 seconds quicker than the average in the field. So they may require some time. Certainly, they are gaining a lot of time. The issue is that they will have to change tires again because they are on wets. They will have to get back on dry tires at the end of the stint. But ultimately, I don't know how much of a gain that was as Marco Romi, as the Italian, get the inside line and gets the third place, that podium position for Marco Romi. As just in the background, there is a car with blue flags at the 081 competition getting a better line and then cutting the chicane completely. Sam Gaskell battling with Shea O'Sullivan for 5th place. Oh, locking the tires. Over the curb, risky. Risky idea to get over the curb in these conditions with slick tires on a wet track as Osterman makes another place. That's 15th place, just in front of the B-Alien number 23. Hansen driving it. The Hoplite, 19th place, is also trying to gain some places from the best start they had. They've lost some positions as the number 11 is... Oh, that's a lot to unpack here. I think 2 cars collided. Have a look at what happened. It's not the issue that just happened. Really? Not really sure what the replay tool is showing me. Sam Gaskell still behind Shea O'Sullivan. Don't get tricked from tower on the left. It's just a visual glitch. Positions didn't change. Slightly different here because Baikov actually changed the position with Seminara, getting the position done on the Italian as the number 745. Now he's in 11th. I think they started on wet tires. I really think they started on wet tires. Yeah, they definitely started on wet tires. Because now the car number 745 is gaining places. Now they are in 11th place. They were starting in 3rd. As Shea O'Sullivan loses the place on Sam Gaskell. As that was for 5th place. So you can see the replay of how it did happen. Will very lose into the chicane's entry. Shea O'Sullivan had to lose the position on Sam Gaskell, going practically sideways, entering second chicane. Johannes Reinders, LFM number 258, is now very close to the duo we were focusing on. Oh! The aquaplaning situation there for Johannes Reinders. He still maintains 7th place. The car behind is not battling for position, it's a back marker. I think Johannes Reinders will have a good opportunity on Shea O'Sullivan here for 6th place. As the background, Mikhail Baikov makes another place. That's number 10 for the only team that's starting in wet tires, I think. At least looking at the lap times, that should... No, maybe even the 202 did. It's a bit difficult at the moment. Tell. As a Veloce car tried an overtake and went wide by doing so, gets back on the racetrack just in front of the BS Plus competition. That sits in 16th and now becomes 15th with a lot of damage on the front end of the car. That's Pablo Polovchuk for Glasgow competition 204. That's the number of the car. And Jakob Osterman makes another place. Can he make a 2nd place? Just before the chicane, he doesn't manage to do so. He remains behind Polovchuk, but the car that started in the 37th place is now in 15th. And they started on dry tires. So they're on the same strategy as pretty much anybody else. Car number 44 was starting 18 places behind. Now they are in 20th. They were starting just behind the BS Plus competition. This is now in 15th place. Nice comeback for those two teams at the moment. Remember that BS Plus competition is practically still battling for the lead of the championship. As the rain will stop in less than 10 minutes. And also the battles are starting to get less clumsy. Barrier lost a lot of time here in Parabolica. Or Curva Alboreto. This has been renamed a short time ago. Ooh, a lot of lock up for Barrier. As Johannes Reinders is still in 7th, but very close to the car up ahead. Will be for 6th place overall. But I'm astonished to see what Tauscher is doing. Look at this car, 8 seconds in front of everybody else. They are on dry tires. and they are lapping in 54.6, going extremely sideways in Ascari. 8 seconds in front of their sister team. Oh, the Alien is absolutely destroying the field at the moment. Although the best lap has been set by Sam Gaskell in 5th place, 47.282. But obviously it's a long race, and also little reminder, they just have 70 minutes max drive time. So they still have the 48 minutes steam timer, that doesn't change, but their total time has to be less than 70 minutes, otherwise penalty applies to their name. So this will make strategies interesting, because they will have to pit after 70 minutes if necessary. And the rain has stopped, and the only car that went forward, not by much, was Remy Pepin in the G League, among the teams that changed tires. Julie Racing finds itself in 32nd place. They were battling for a very nice position too early on. This tactic clearly didn't pay off, and Ronentario finds itself in the 8th, RCI in 39th, Flyby in 40th, 081 in 41st, already lapped, and same goes for Nuremberger for Dynamic here. Oh. Far not a great idea to get the tires changed. Madcap Racing will receive a 10-second time penalty for forcing another car off track. That's the team in 29th place. You can see them just there in the background. Now, Rafael Hansen for the Alien is very interested in position number 16. Amedeo Castorino for Veloce Masters is currently maintaining that place. And into Parabolica, no action happens. Track is now damp. Pepin makes another position, but that's bound to disappear. The BS Plus competition is now going quite quick compared to the 204 with damage, and the next position, number 14. Starting from 37th, remember. 23 places gained for this team. A lot of comeback drives so far. Ossenman 23 places, Campanella 18 places, Brabham, Warner driving number 52, 15 places. Obviously, so many comebacks, but also many cars that lost an eternity. Especially because of the pit strategy at this point, because the rain lasted very little. Now the teams with wet tires are certainly not having a good time. Lap times are starting to get quicker. It was a 56 2 lap to go, 53 lap earlier, and this could realistically be a 50 for the community. I'm taking them as a benchmark, but same applies to everybody else. The 11th places lost for the 257 in 22nd place, but that's also because of incident that happened early on with Armamentario. And I should check if a penalty been issued to them as we go back to the team that started the race in wet tires. Now they are back at losing ground as Hoplite goes into the pits and Warner gets 10th place and goes extremely wide. Goes straight on the chicane and will probably have to give back the place. Doesn't do so. Possibly stewards will be assessing the situation there. Minara now just behind the bike of Lucasila facing a gamble. Considering they were starting in third. Oh, they take off! Oh, that's Osterman! That's Osterman! Making contact with another car. Now they find themselves in 17th. What happened there? To Jacob Osterman in number 89. We have a quick look. It was with 081, lapped car. Oh, I can already see that purple car going extremely sideways, going back on the racetrack, and that's when the incident happened. As Seminara is just behind bike off. Barry had lost a lot of time, Lascari. I wonder if it was for loss of traction or by going on the gravel. Instead, now get position number 11 in front of Bykov. Still, it's racetrack on wet tires. Go back in 15th as Polovchuk with a lot of front-end damage in a racetrack that practically fares here speed over everything else. Loses 2 places. That's Amedeo Castorino and Rafael Hansen for Veloce Esports and Bielian Academy. And Castorino is now in 14th. Hansen in 15th. Polovchuk only in 16th. We're starting in 23rd. But ultimately, no, apologies, they were starting in 11th place, so they definitely haven't had a pleasant time so far. As another car, that's Osterman again, going for the overtake, possibly, on Polovchuk, who practically jumped the chicane entirely. As there is also the possible battle for 3rd place going on. Polovchuk loses the place on Osterman with clear deficit in top speed. As Abuladze and Marco Lomi, Abuladze has been following Lomi for the past laps. And now, the overtake happens. Deep on the brakes, way too deep, and he goes straight. Tries to get back on the racing line, maybe cutting the chicane entirely would have been a better idea as he goes back in 4th place, but he loses second half by doing so. And Van der Velde here, very close to Reinders, and also Hansen and Castorino challenging each other for position. The Veloce Taskmaster remains on the inside and remains also in 13th place. As I saw Rosone in number 85. Yellow flags, we'll see what happened. That this fight is over. For now remains closer to Castorino. Last lap around it was a 51.700 for both drivers. Look at this, literally the same exact lap time in lap number 14 for both Hansen and Castorino. And McConnell is about to make a pass to Fadler for Madcap Racing. Bykov is now exiting the pits. They're starting in wet tires. He's back on right tires. 46 Visual Esport will get a 20-second penalty for contact with a 312. What happened in lap 9 turn 1? Possibly see what happened. So 6 and 3 2. Okay, found it. Yes, I definitely found it. Look at this. Wait a second. Because first there is Seminara going for the overtake on Brabham Motorsport. Ooh, that's a position done. Yes, that's a position done for Seminara. Just in front of Banner. As we see why the 20-second penalty was applied. We're still in the wet. And this is the reason. Everything goes on. Right. Oh, they just cut in front of them. Oh, yeah, that's a no-no. They cut in front of them, made them spin, and 20 seconds of penalty have been applied to... Oh, no. As Busak and Rosone are also battling for 23rd place. Speaking of Rosone, this happened short time ago to their car. There was a contact. Oh, there was a contact. Yeah, there was a contact with another car. Oh, more than one contact. I can't pinpoint which car it was because I physically can't see even the number. Said car, but I think it was. It was number 116. Looking at the timestamp, I think it was Luke Edidon making contact with the orange Team Racing Point. As Abulaz still tails Domi in third place. As Vanner went in the pits for a possible change of tires. No rain on the horizon. Next 30 minutes. Full randomness is not yet in action. Buongiorno Fabrizio. How are you doing? As now on the right side of the racetrack, on the left side of your screen, and that's Marco Lomi losing position number 3, and that's a podium position for Abulazze in the 255 competitions. 10 seconds behind Grunwald. Yet. Oh, a bit on the gravel, it's not over yet. I really think Marco Lomi could make it back into Parabolica. He just didn't have the exit speed to take advantage of the situation. The good news is there is a long straight line ahead to maybe make it back. Can Marco Lomi gain the place back? That will be the number 3. That will be the podium. That will be the battle still going on for the Italian driver. For now remains behind. And he will remain behind. Doesn't apply for an overtake. It's itself a good position in 4th. And I want to say the Porsche driver, but I then remembered everybody is on a Porsche, so it's completely useless to say it. The Italian driver is he gaining a lot? Wait a lot! Oh. For a moment I thought there was contact between Marco Lomi and Gasly Abulazze, but Lomi just went deep on the brakes, and by doing so he lost the gap on 255 ahead, and that also means that he lost the slipstream. Back in 14th because Osterman is not over with positions, as Hansen went extremely deep in the gravel and immediately lost the place on Osman, as the BS Plus competition that started in 37th place now finds itself in 13th. 2.3 seconds behind the Castorino, as the Italian has to start looking in the mirrors. Because even if they started from 24th, now they find themselves in 12th. Osman is very, very fast. I wanted to see if Armentario had a penalty from what happened early on. As I have a very little window to have a look. Oh, it was a drive-through. It was a drive-through penalty. Apologies, I haven't mentioned it. It was a drive-through penalty for Armentario for the incident with the car number 257 early on. That's why they are now in 37th place, getting overtaken by Devilish Singh. The car number 46. Although, with front-end damage. The lag spike. 5-second penalty for the car number 203, Gladius Competitions, for forcing the car number 39 off track. Those are the cars currently in 10th and 11th place. And so technically, Jardia Community is now in 10th. Because they are sitting 4 seconds behind the Gladius car. Wasner goes again in the pits. Apologies, Wasner, no, not Warner. Ah, okay, it was me. But it was Brabham for a moment. In fact, I was slightly confused. Bykov is currently the quickest car on track. It has to be said that they are completely off sync. Car in 27th place is off sync because they started on wet tires and then they switched on dry tires. They were starting in 3rd place and tactic didn't work because at the end of their wet stint they were in 10th place. So number 6 finds itself in 31st and with 2 stops already on their name. That's because they started on dry tires, they switched on wet tires and then it didn't work, simply put. Now they're back in dry tires. Kaipo here for Skidmark Racing, 9th place, just behind the Williams car, without the usual blue and light blue colors. Skidmark Racing with the usual azure and orange matte colors. Oh, that's a lot of curbs being taken by this Porsche driver. And Kaipo lost some time over the chicane. As Edison goes into the pits, car number 116. It's a good idea to start doing this because it's getting... I also put something that can help you track better what's happening on the racetrack, because now, and not now, okay, now you can see the number of pits that have been taken by each team, and there will be some teams that went in way more times than others, and also different tactics, because remember, 70 minutes, that's the maximum driving time for each driver in the team. 48 minutes is the maximum stint that one team can have. So it's tactically very complicated. I don't really have any other description for you because there are so many strategies that I don't even know how many are there. Like, usually I have sort of strategy in mind. In this particular case, I really don't. I honestly don't know what's the best tactic, and I just think that going with the weather is the best thing. Let's go as long as you can and hope the weather is compliant to your strategy. By the way, if this is the first time you are watching us in the International Endurance Series by Lian Li, well, welcome. And today is the last day. It's 2 different races will happen, 2 3 hours racing. I think I can just pick the info picture just to go easier on the description, but just after this battle is over, because I really think the Rangers may be in dangerous position. Camaverde follows very closely Jannes Reinders. It's LFM number 258 started in 8th place, as Rajuli Racing now has the fastest lap of the race so far. Fortunately, that team is only 30th. These cars are so nice to hear. By the way, yes, I was saying early on that this is the situation. 2 3-hour races with render randomness high and reverse full grid in race number 2. Number 1, it is random weather. It's not 100% random. And obviously it is a prize championship. There are 18,000 euros on the line. First place team gets 3,200 of that prize pool. I have some calm before the pit stop happened. Go back here and this. So the first team in the championship gets 3,200, the second team 2,200, the third team 1,600, and then reduction in the prize pool per every single position lost. Points per race, there are 2 races, so there are still 200 points up for grabs today. But that's also thanks to all our sponsor, thanks to Monza Racing, Nitro Concepts, Asdex Sim Sports, Camus, Hedringveld, Katekin.de, and ERS, plus obviously VCO that also hosts our championship. And also, if you want a discount, you can have it on the Katekin.de with the code EAS7 on all the products that you want. Obviously, major thanks also to Lian Li, which is our main partner. They offer great PC cases, and if you want to create your own build, let's say they can help you very, very much. RBC, yes, it is a shared chat, so you have both the chats from the German stream and this stream. So it's normal to see both German and British language in chat. Pretty normal. And also, you can see how many are watching each live stream. as Bykov is now very close to Mara for Sim Heaven. Remember they made a pit stop early on to change from wet tires to dry tires. Racing we're starting in 3rd. Now they are in 24th. Although they already made their pit stop. Now 23rd after overtaking Tumara for Sim Heaven. Actman for Fish Racing and Varijo are also going into the pit, and I think everybody else, because 48 minutes timer is over for them if they go for another lap. Perfect, everybody else follows. Apart from the RCI team that just passed, but that's because they are lapped. Michael Tasher also goes into the pits. 10 seconds in front of Gronwald in their sister team. And another 8 in front of Abuladze. Now in 3rd place. Now mess will happen. Let's see if anybody gets drive-through for exceeding speed limiter. It's very difficult to tell from here, considering the camera chosen for the pit lane is the furthest one available. And I'm also not sure if anybody will change tires, because depending on the strategy, they may just put fuel and pit again in 22 minutes. Well, less than 22 minutes obviously, but you get the point. As everybody is back on the racetrack. Different strategies clearly, as Sullivan is going with a very different strategy. Sheo Sullivan for Visual Esports finds himself in the lead because they didn't pit at all. They just went in for a drive-through. Same for the Williams car, and now finds itself in 3rd place. Same for Castorino, as he chose to go for a drive-through only. 7th place for them. And Campanella for Visual Esport number 44. Fisher Racing number 93 did the same. And Varijo also went in for a single drive-through. Interesting. Bastian Richter. Full service for the team number 22. Change of tires for Richter. And their season team in 4th place in the car number 21. And also for the Gladius number 201, full service. Change of tires. Crazy Light obviously did the same, but as half a stint ago. And Brava Motorsport also did the same. I think a quarter of a stint ago. So already very different tactics. So O'Sullivan is currently leading the race, but without a new set of tires. Van der Velde is also very close to Abuladze, but Williams' car is lighter than Abuladze. Practically everybody is on all tires, so the only effective difference is that some teams opted to not even change tires, and not even fuel the car, apologies, to some others. And Osman managed to gain another place. That's the number 89 now in 12th place. It's in front of Campanella. I don't think it's over. Campanella has a lighter car, as this car didn't fuel. Nothing happens. Meanwhile, Tinko Van der Velde is going to make a move. into second place, and that's Van der Velde in second place, just before approaching Ascari. Slashing on the gravel for Abulazze, who lost a couple of kilometers per hour on exits. And also has a heavier car, 12 seconds the pits. I wonder if that's also damage repair for Van der Velde. For Abulazze. As Van der Velde now tries to create a gap with Abulazze behind, but look at this. It's clearly not happening. If anything, Abulazze can make it back into second. Can he go for the move on inside? No, he doesn't. He remains behind and doesn't commit to an overtake. Oh, that was very close between... I can't really say. These are lapped cars. I think it was 777 really making contact with white and blue Porsche. As Axman and Bykov are exchanging positions. As you can see now, Bykov is in front of Axman. That's for 15th place for Crazy Life Racing. They were starting in 3rd, now they are in 15th. Axman, other, and starting 9 positions behind in 25th place. And now they are in 16th. I think Crazy Life Racing has the position in the hands. Different scenario here for Capo, who is following Amedeo Castorino very, very closely for 7th place. Into the parabolica. Oh, very wide there for Castorino as he goes slightly wide. And by doing so, he lost beautiful momentum on exit. Can Poe make it into 7th? Although with a heavier car, since they refueled. The Veloce car exit was not great. And that's now Capo. Skidmark Racing in 7th place, just in front of Amedeo Castorino in 8th. The Veloce car started 16 positions behind in 24th. But technically speaking, the leader is the car in 4th place. As they had an advantage so big and so large, they nearly managed to go in for a full service and still maintain the lead of the race. As you see, Osterman and Campanella, they started literally one after the other. Oh, there is a crash. There is a crash here. Something clearly happened. The 204 and getting 26th plate. Oh, contact there, more contact there, and both cars sideways in the middle of the racetrack. Then back on the normal racing line. That was the 204. Again, some more contact and some more damage for the Gladius 204. Van der Velde is still ahead of Popolazzi, but look behind her, because there is a car that made a full service that is arriving very, very quickly. And behind said car, there is another car which is now the fastest race car in the whole field. Bastian Richter, 46.465, fastest lap of the race so far. And Leon Berndt in 4th behind this duo, lapped in a 46.850, gaining 7 temps on both Abulazzi and Van der Velde in a single lap. This could be an effective clean sweep for Team Nitro. Oh, as you can see, very close between Berndt and Abulazzi. But they lost some time on exit and lost the position immediately on Leon Bernter, who has a better car. Simply put. And takes position number 3. Connell overtakes Zimmer for a brief moment. As we will keep focus here with Amedeo Castorino and Capo. Skid Mark Racing in front of Veloce. Very poor exit speed for Capo. Going a bit too much on the gravel, losing time and losing position. That's Amedeo Castorino in front, and the Italian is now in 7th place. As Janus Reinders, who was ahead of them early on, went in the pits. No change of tires for this team. Remember that only a couple of teams went in for a full service. Those teams are in top 15. The 201 in 14th place, the 22 in 5th, and Bernter in soon to be 2nd. All the others went either for a drive-through or simply to refuel the car. As the... Oh, look at that drift for Poe. Very, very stylish, but certainly not really effective to gain some time on Castorino. Now sits a second in front of the rival. Van de Velde here. Oh, going on the gravel. That will hurt their exit speed. Has burnt. Okay, that also helps. Burnt as he is in the slipstream. If he doesn't manage to gain the position instantly, maybe this will be different into Parabolica. Burnt is losing a lot of time on Richter, as he has to slow down his pace, although with better tires. Can overtake in many of the turns here is very difficult. Into Parabolica, you can see the gap difference between the two cars. Van de Velde practically stationary compared to Burnt into Parabolica. Can he make it into the first chicane, into second place, and get rid of the Williams car? No, he doesn't. He missed behind. Clearly missed behind. Can't say the same about this other fight here for the 11th place. Osterman started in 37th. This team here now finds itself in 12th and maybe in 11th by the end of the straight. Again, nothing happens at the very tail end of the straight. Usually hotspot for overtakes, as Brabham Motorsport will give us a prime example of such situation, as he goes to the left of your screen, which is the right side of the track, makes the place. That's 16th place for Brabham Motorsport in car number 52. Was a lag spike. And oh, 5-second time penalty for car number 255 for unsportsmanlike conduct. Car number 22. It's interesting as the overtake happens here, unfortunately, with the worst camera possible. As you can see, Burnt on the line Porsche. A bit of a difficult situation because they were behind the team. They were behind a back market car and couldn't really make any move as they were boxed by Van de Velde. As Osterman also made the place on Jardier Community. Richter, fastest lap of the race so far, 46.440, and now Burnt is going to pass Van de Velde for second place on track, deep on the brakes. And clearly the tire advantage helps in this situation. Very deep on the brakes, and yet managed to make the line to turn one perfectly. So at this point will not try another attack since they are on old tires. It's completely useless to try it, even because there is a major problem on Van der Velde. As Abuladze just behind is very interested in making a pass, and another look at it. Please stop. It's completely useless because it's not working in the tower. 5-second time penalty for 701 Sim Heaven. Speaking of Sim Heaven, there were yellow flags showing for that car. I think they were in the middle of, yes, they were in the middle of getting lapped. As Cody Sharat goes on the inside of Mister. And the switchback for Mister. Car number 20 keeps position number 29. As Shea O'Sullivan is the first to go for a double hit. In the pits for both Castorino and Sullivan. They didn't refuel the car, and so they had to get back in the pits earlier than anybody else. Surprisingly, Penelli is still out. So possibly they just managed to squeeze a lap out of the tank compared to the other two drivers. And this is the battle for, well, now second place after O'Sullivan went into the pits. So I'm not sure which one is Van der Velde. Okay, it's the one on the inside. I don't know. But closely follows his rival. And the sky is getting cloudier. Ooh, a bit on the gravel. Abuladze, who this sense remains in front. There's also been an overtake here between Reinders and K-Po for 6th place. We'll try to get usage of it. No, Van der Velde is into the pits. This was the overtake. For position. Oh, that was the rear end slipping off of the Skidmark Racing's driver. Twice. And that's also the LFM car going for the move in a sort of easy way. And Bastian Richter now leader in the championship for this team here. That's the number 22. Very close to Abuladze, not even close, actually next to Abuladze. For a brief moment, I think they chose to wait a bit. Van der Velde is back on the racetrack in 19th place. And Richter, last time around it was a 46.7 for this team. It was a 48.2 for Abuladze, and a matter of fact, better tires, better exit And just sheer speed. Now Richter is in second place. Abuladze rightfully doesn't go for an answer. Try to gain back the place number 2. They are on all the ties. It's completely useless to lose time at this point. As 2 hours remain. In the race, and Eric McVan is, well, was very close to their rival in the 312 Medcap Racing, but they just let faster car pass. Just can't pinpoint which one it is. The 256, it is car in 4th. And Seminara now very close to the Skidmark Racing Porsche. And clearly the Italian very close and about to make the pass into Sky. No, he doesn't. He backs off. He thinks it's a better idea to simply wait a bit. Oh, I think it was a good idea because look at this! Skidmark Racing nearly losing completely in the race car and saving it. Narrowly saving it. But by doing so, they lost the place on Gladius number 203. Fastest lap of the race so far. Still in the hands of Bastian Richter. 46.437 as both go into the pits. Can there be an overtake? Look at this! It was very close. What happened? So as I was saying, Richter simply destroying field in terms of lap time. And this team has been phenomenal in every single race so far. To be fair, I don't remember a single race where they had struggles. And even when they had struggles, they managed to overcome every single one of them. Now they are the very top of the championship for a reason. Giocinotti for Gladius competition number 202, just in front of Igor Rodriguez. That just went out of the pits for Williams. Esports! Ooh, that was the rear end. Clearly not happy with what was happening. That's Rodriguez now in 16th place as we cut. Oh, that was a side-by-side, very interesting between Osterman and oh, there's a contact, and they are both off, and Felipe Osterman into the barrier, and that's an incident for both racing cars. Disaster struck for the team that was doing the best comeback ever. And have a look at everything that happened in this fight. It started with Osterman going on inside of barrier, side by side into Ascari, and honestly, Felipe just dived in as quickly as he could, and he did, quite honestly, the worst thing he could have done. Just had to wait a tiny bit. On the number 89, they were coming back from literally nowhere in the field. 37th. And the damage will not help them. But what was that? It was incredibly dangerous to think about at the very beginning. Then committing for it was clear stake. They try to go for a gap that, to be fair, never existed in the first place. And now their race is ruined. And they also damaged the BS Plus Competitions race. As we can see here, Tom Gorka for Visceral number 44, overtaking Andriy Pozniakov in Gladius number 204. Coming back just behind barrier for Jadea Community. BS Plus Competition had a lot of damage to repair, 15 seconds for this team. And I would like to see where the other Gladius car is. I'm sure race control will not be happy with that. As we go here, because Stubenrauch is about to lose the position on Walsingham as he gets 11th place on the inside, still side by side in Ascari. Going a bit wide over the gravel. So still a chance for Stubenrauch to remain ahead of Walsingham. As the Veloce car remains on the inside of Parabolica, and Walsingham doing so remains in 11th place. Assassin Stubenrauch for 2.5 competitions is in 12th. Cianci also lost a place on Sherat. Main straight goes for 8th place overall. I like the fact that the period of calmness lasted for the whole 2 laps. I said it. Then everything keeps and kept happening. As Zakari Litman, the Jardine Community number 39, is very, very close to Gorka. That will be for 15th place. As Litman lost a bit of time over the chicane. Now finds himself 15th in 16th place, just a second behind Tom Gorka. After losing the place on the Vissel car. Reuters on the other end of the straight line. For the other part of track, here it is Luis Roters for BS Plus Competition, trying to get 21st place out of Cody Sherat, the 116 Dum Dum and Dummer, as he goes on the inside and takes the position even before the main straight. That's 21st place for Luis Roters. Stubenrauch still follows closely Walsingham. Last lap it was a 7.0 for Walsingham, a 7.1 for Stubenrauch. Although best team lap at 47.1. But they were also in the slipstream. That may have helped the team. Still not over. So Stubenrauch, I think they will try something here? No, they don't, but they are very close to making the pass back as Rajali Racing goes back into pits. As they're completely off sync after pitting first for wet tires, then back into dry tires. Rajali Racing is currently on their third top. .3 for Walsingham, 7.4 for Stubenrauch. As they both cut the chicane as much as they can. Way too much for Stubenrauch, who went over the curb a bit too aggressively and lost a lot of time for it to Walsingham. As Porco is now in front of Sidruk. See the replay, how it did happen. It was simply a mistake by the Skid Mark Racing team. As Sidruk lost time on the chicane and also the position on the Italian for Gladius competitions. Cinotti came back on racetrack in 20th place. Tonaldi and Dominic Chypres are battling for position. That's the hoplite number 27, now in 22nd place. Hoplite, which usually is way higher on the grid. They started in 12th, now they are only 22nd. Oh, Beckman! What's happening here? The car number 11. They go back racing speed. It was all on their own. Yes, it was on their own. Oh, they break down the grass. Try to get back without losing too much time. But they lost the rear completely anyway. Carl Nittert, narrowly behind Stubenrauch, who early on was battling with Walsingham, now finds himself in some troubles as Nittert lapped with a 6.7 in the last lap compared to a 7.8 on Stubenrauch's side. There is a good chance that will be able to gain a lot of time on both Stubenrauch and Walsingham. Last lap it was 7.0 for Walsingham, 9.3 for Stubenrauch, and an 8.6. So clearly, Stubenrauch lost some time and defended well against the Raval. As Poziakov is into the pits. And Skid Mark Racing is battling with Tom Gorka. Oh, losing again the rear end of the car. Gorka makes another place. And Leitinen maybe getting a bit blocked by the lapped car. And if so, a penalty will be given to, but I think it is the Madcap Racing. See, Sidruk lost some positions since the start of the stint so far. Blue flags waving clearly. Porsche, the yellow and black accents has to give way to Lehtinen. He's probably not very happy. This car who braked practically on the racing line was in the middle of the way. Gorka ahead of this trio. Drive-through penalty for the 201 for causing a collision with the BS Plus competitions. So BS Plus competition now in 18th. Bit of justice for them. The 201 will have to go through the pits. They are currently in third place. Oh, that's the skid mark. Racing again. Going on the gravel. And leaving a lot of room to Sakari Lehtinen. So I'm starting to think it was but the pit stop is getting very difficult to understand what was happening there, but I think Filippi was clearly on a different strategy than BS Plus competition, especially because only pitted once. In any case, it's a possible overtake done for Lehtinen. As Sidruk now is getting taken by Lehtinen. His position done in 13th place. A brief moment as Lehtinen remains. You know, there was contact there for Lehtinen from the car behind. It was an 8.6 for Sidruk and an 8.4 for Lehtinen compared to a 7.6 for Gorka. So as it stands, two are not really getting a lot from this battle, and Lehtinen goes over inside and uses Leon Berndt as a way to make the position. Because I think Skidmark Racing slowed down to let the leader pass by, and by doing so, Lehtinen just took advantage of the situation. Making a position for themselves. Sidruk is now back behind Lehtinen that let the leader pass by. But in front, Sidruk sits and remains. As we can see here, the battle for 9th still going on. It was 7.2 for Subaru, 6.8 for Neithard. Really some time has been cut. Walsingham now sits 2.3 seconds ahead. Oh, clearly a mistake happened, because the gap early on was about 3 seconds. Now it is 1.8. A mistake for Walsingham. This time we saw it. It was over the chicane. A bit too aggressive on the curbs to let the car jump around, and by doing so, time has been lost. Sidruk is still in danger again. The rear slipping off. This time Sherplin is the Porsche that will try the attack. As Naldi made the overtake on Sherat, that was for 19th place. And Chevron will go as quick as possible. See how she go. Oh, little contact probably between Sidruk and Chevron. As Roters made another place, this time on Mattia. So 16th place for them. As this Rio still continues to sparkle battles. Oh, Sharat is into the pits now. Lieutenant's last lap was 8.0, 8.1 for Sidruk. That was a lot of gravel being taken by the King Marquez. Oh, nearly putting the Porsche number 745 into the wall, but they lost the place either way. And that's 9th place for Sidruk. Sheplin is now in 14th, and targeting Lehtinen up ahead. As I was saying, it was an 8.0 for Lian, 7.9 for Sheplin, and 8.1 for Sidruk. Now it's going to be slightly different. 701 is not having a good time. This is the reason for it. Over the curb, too aggressive, lost the rear end, and obviously we will never know how much damage there is because the camera cut away. Fantastic stuff. Assing also makes the position on Opiolka, CMRC, and Sheplin made the position on Lehtinen. In the main straight, this is not a fancy overtake, the usual, but still an overtake, and that's Daniela Sheplin in 13th place. As we now have to cut into the battle for 5th place, because Jordan Sherat is very close to. Sherat is now very close to Fabio Zerbin. Visceral car number 45. I think I found something. I think I found something because I noticed number 46 and 48 drive-through for both of them, but I think it may be a tactical drive-through. They are on the same team, I remember. Maybe it was a drive-through in a tactical way. As you can see, Zerbin defending against Sherat, who clearly wants the attack. done as soon as possible. Oh, it's slightly on the gravel there. No, poi it's the 48, not the 44. Yeah, 48 is Ora Motorsport. So that could be drive-through for exceeding track limits. So I didn't see any drive-through in the penalty zone. It was a drive-through for number 46, 789 and 48. Well, it was a stop and go for speeding for the car number 869. And it was another drive-through, but it's time for the car number 52. Which is in 26. It was Brabham Motorsport with a drive-through. Or what I think it is, track limits violations. So now Gabor Sarozi is in 26th place. But now we also speak about what's happening here, because you can see that's the battle for 5th place. Arjuna Sharat is going to overtake Pavel Zerbin. Zerbin now has to remain behind the other visceral car. This time it's number 44. Sits in 12th place. Just behind Leonardo Porco for Gladius competitions in the 203. Reminder that their sister team in 3rd, they have a drive-through for the contact early on. As Leon Bert just lapped everyone but the first 11 cars. Although I think we will see only the top 10 not being lapped in 90 minutes. But to be fair, they still have to pit another time, because they went in for a full service early on. Everybody in the first 4 places did a full service, and only once. So number 21, 22, 23, obviously on the same tactic. 255 competition, and 201 third, although they have a drive-through. Now the top 10 is still in the lead lap. Everybody else is not. And never mind what to say, because they are now going into the pits. Because the stint is over for everybody else that didn't pit so far, second time. Now, will they make a full service again? Because it's going to be interesting, the tactics involved into this. For now we saw the majority of the drivers going in for either a drive-through or splash and dash and damage repair, and only a handful of teams that didn't do this but went in for a full service. Now it's the other way around, because Leon Berndt feel only back on the racing line, and the same applies to their sister team. Obviously same tactic for both of them. Berndt and Richter remain on the car. And I think early on this is a drive-through. I think they want to report it, and they want an appeal, because this hasn't been applied yet to Guglielmo Filippi. The drive-thru was 15 minutes ago. They still haven't do it. Used by this. In the meantime, Tuborg is back in front of Walsingham. And Carl Neithart is trying to find an opening, get better position. This was the overtake between Walsingham and Stuborg into turn 1. Okay, put it a bit too early. And you can see into turn 1. No contact, just a lot of space given to Stuborg. Out of defense against Neithart, who is now following just behind the Velocitas Master's car. Neithart remains. Oh, okay, now the drive-thru has been applied. Philip is going through the pits. As Porco is battling with Gorka. The Gladius car is now in 10th place. Drive-thru cleared. I think they were trying an appeal. Now they are back on the racetrack in 17th place. Rather 16th. Neithart here, last lap around to the 8.1 for Neithart, 8.7 for Walsingham, and 7.7 for Stuborg. As Neithart already goes for the overtake, even before the Parabolica. No contact between the two. Side by side, which continues goes on. After going side by side, Parabolica, LFM car is now ahead of Walsingham. The Velocitas Masters car lost another half-tenth on Neithart and subsequently Stuborg. This trio here is sitting pretty much middle of nowhere, considering Rodriguez is 14 seconds ahead and Zimmer is 17 seconds behind, battling with Leonardo Porco for position number 9. That's the BN Academy. Started 18 positions behind. 27th. Of curbs being taken by this car. Some gravel trap. Slow them down. There were also some drive-thrus for track limits. 11, 777 and 34 drive-thru for track limits violation early on. lot of drive-thrus this afternoon, compared to the usual. And 20-second time penalty for Sim11 Motorsport for a contact with the car number 39, 5 laps ago. As you can see, side by side behind. That is very close between Gorka and Sherpin. As oh, that's also another take on Sim from Leonardo Porco, who took by surprise the B-Alien Lime Porsche, and they're now in 9th place, and also Sherpin gaining position number 11 on Tom Gorka. A four-way battle for position, as the 701 is still having some struggles. Yellow flags just after Ascari. A lot of slippery action there for Chopin, who was going sideways after the chicane. As you can see, side by side, Chopin and Zimmer, with Zimmer on the inside line, who actually lost the place on Chopin, who now is in 10th. New tires seems to work greatly on Porsche driver, and meanwhile Zerbin is now defending against Rodriguez for position number 4. They managed to gain place for a moment, but Zerbin defended well and still sits in 4th. So I don't think Zimmer is losing time because they are on all tires compared to everybody else around them. As Sherpin also gains the place on Porco. It's 9th place for Creative Life Racing. So 2 battles going on at the moment. These 4 cars are rapid, but one of them is on all tires. Gorka, Porco and Sherpin are all on... Oh, that's Zimmer off! That's Zimmer off! And he lost 2 places. Oh, only one. It was a lapped car by doing so, but now he has very worn rear tires. Meanwhile, Naldi getting the position done on Filippi. But after the drive-through finds himself in 17th. And Uplight now sits in 16th place. So you go back in front because Rodriguez is not over with it. He probably wants to get into 4th one way or another. No contact between the two. The 4-0 still sits on the outside. And Zervin remains in 4th place. Technically, they are all on the same tactic now. And 20 seconds. Is the gap between Sherat and Richter. And somehow Richter is gaining on Sherat. As Lian made a position on Sidruk for 13th place. Or maybe not, since he is now back in country. No, will remain here. This is a important battle for the possible, who knows, lead of the race. Because there's still a lot of time to go. Well, 1 hour and 15 minutes, so not really a lot. There's still a good chunk of time remaining. As Rotter has also gained a place on Sidruk. So unfortunately, Battle here didn't change positions. So I said earlier on, Lian and the Rotors both managed to gain the place on Sidruk. Who is losing a lot of time at the moment. Now Gorka is exceptionally close Borko for top 10 with 1 hour and 13 minutes to go. Over the curb. And there's probably a lot of time being lost there. So apparently these two are battling only when I don't see them. If I don't put the camera on them, they will battle, otherwise they will not. It's basically Schrodinger's battle. Now I think this time it could happen. There is also one for 6th place. At this point I'm not really sure which one to look at. Could be the time where Rodriguez makes it into 4th, as he thinks about it, he commits to it, he goes on the inside, deep on the brakes, and takes the position, number 4 out of Zerbin. And this time Visceral number 45 will lose the position. And they will have to remain behind the Williams car, now 7 seconds behind Sherratt. As Walsingham is into the pits. I don't think it's over though. I don't think it's over, look at him! Zerbin! Oh, that was an idea. It was definitely an idea, but didn't work out, and also loss of rear end. Completely destroyed the whole plan. It was to be made. The lap car also blocks Zerbin, getting now a second gap between the two. Ultimately, putting an end to that battle. Rittert, on the other hand, is very close to Subaru, and Walsingham fuel only for that car as the car number 48. They stopped on the racing track. They're not having a good time. There is some damage of some sort to their equipment. Let's go back live to the battle for 6th, because Stubarak and Neithart are still fighting on the main straight. This will be the action. Positions change, and Stubarak now sitting on the left part, on the left side of the racetrack. Neithart on the right side. There is no contact between the two. That's why Stubarak wasn't defending turn 1 to get a better situation out of turn 2. To the chicane. As Zerbin just went in for a drive-through. Not for a penalty, but just a choice. So drive-through only, not even fuel. Which is dangerous, because there are still 22 minutes to do before going for the very last stop. as it stands, I don't really know who is where, technically speaking. Because someone may have done 2 pit stops, but 2 full service, or 2 pit stops, as in just a drive-through and another stop, which is completely different. Meanwhile, Rotters gain the place on the Lian. This time there will be a replay. Let us know what exactly happened to these two. Look at him going on the inside line. That's position done inside for Luis Rotters in front of Sakari Lehtinen. Back in 6th place, Karl Nittert still into the battle, lifting off. So I'm starting to think that Nittert doesn't want to pass Super Rock. They are probably fuel saving, which is a very good idea if they want to go for a drive-through only or to put just fuel. It's a very good idea to fuel save as much as they can, and makes sense. The pace is good. Sherat is probably too far away anyway. 20 seconds are a lot to gain back. Lehtinen on the other side of the track remains behind Luis Rotters, so he's now in 11th place. 1.5 seconds behind Jan Timmer, who slipped away in the second chicane, found himself half spinning and going back on normal racing line in 10 seconds. We are about to get into important time. Oh, Nittert overtaking Subarak. All of a sudden, there was an 8 times gap between Nittert and Subarak. What happened there? It's not really what I expected. Suppose the car in front of Subarak slowed down massively. The gap went from 8 times to 2 in a single second. Even the lap time confirms it, because it was a 48.5 for Subarak compared to 8.1 for Nittert, which is still slow-ish. Yeah, there was clearly some impeding there. 701 again. Showing. Yeah, not really. Position now. They're also facing the wrong way. Now, can Subarak get back into 4th? This point the battle is for 4th. It doesn't. Oh! The number 11 closing the door as soon as possible. Subarak is certainly not happy about that. Ascari, the gravel. Now the gap remains quite high compared to this one here, which is literally maybe 1 meter. 2. And now it's a bit more than that, but to less than 1, it was very little. Also, Jan Zimmer is about to get into a fight. As Luis Rotters is very, very angry. 1-6. Going yellow flags. Gravel, but you can see here Luis Rotters going over the inside. And that was an easy pass. I think Jan Zimmer knows that. Doesn't make sense to defend aggressively. So now the 89 is in 10th place, top 10 for them. Which is now 9th place after Rodriguez will go into the pits. Apologies, Porco will go into the pits. Eighth place for BS Plus competitions. BS Plus competition. They are not competition. You have to remember this. I don't know why this round I started to call them competitions. But anyway, it's not important. As Porco comes out of the pits in 16th. Yeah, 16th place. With a splash and dash. The tactics will be certainly unfolded at the very end of the race. Sherat goes into the pits. 63 minutes away from the end of the race. Same goes for Nittert and Stubarak. And group leader of cars are not battling, but certainly Sherfrin is not having a good time. 745 is also going into the pits. Zerbin will continue straight. Third place for the visceral car, but obviously we are 62 minutes away from the end. Probably 2 stops remaining. Still a lot to unfold. Sherat is also back here, but with a very odd stop, 19 seconds. They either put all the fuel in the world, which is an idea. Don't really know why they put 19 seconds of fuel on the car. And Rodriguez is clearly interested in making it back into 4th. After a splash and dash. Both the leaders are now in the pits, so don't be scared to see 2 places changing. They're probably in for full service, which makes sense. 70 minutes, yeah, they're also into 70 minutes max stint, max driving time. Yeah, they are on very nice strategy. So full service for both cars. Beyond Burnt in back out in 2nd place, but with a fully serviced car, and that's a visceral car going extremely wide. Can't see which, I think it's 2, yes it is. Going a bit wide. No, not the 22, apologies. The 44, apologies, 40. Anyway, Petit Zerbin is the leader in the race, but with an old set of tires, so I expect Klinkmüller to get the position done shortly. And same goes for Tuben. They both went in for a full service, and very likely these 2 will also be ones in the better strategy at the very end of the race, because now they have to go for 60 minutes on a single set of tires. Pit at half length, possible to put fuel. Let's be safe. In any case, I think 5-second penalty for the car number 46. Sportsmanlike conduct with the RNL ROR number 20. not sure what's Transport might like conduct in a racing line, possibly weaving, suppose. As Schubeck and Zimbal are filling for 20 seconds. To be fair, I also think that it will result in a... Oh, that's King Muller going extremely wide and losing a lot of time. Because they were trying to get out of the way with the Rajoli Racing Porsche. Rajoli Racing who is now in 24th place. Not great for the championship. It's really not great for the championship. And I think the culprit is to be found in the strategy. They went in because of that glimpse of rain. They kinda cut their own legs. Speaking of championship, now that I have some time to use, these are the standings. Team Nitro number 22 ahead with B Alien by Nitro Concepts second, and BS Plus Competition nearly 100 points behind. Classic Competitions is in 4th, Esports in 5th, then Applied, LFM number 258, B Alien Academy, Williams Sim Racing, Visceral Esports then follows. As a Zimbal, as I said, slow it down to let Schubeck pass through. Saying Williams Sim Racing in 9th, Visceral Esports in 10th and number 45, Gladius 204 and 202, then the 257 LFM Esports, Giordia Community 39, and the 255 competition by Go Setup number 255, completing the top 15. And it's important because this is prize pool teams. Every position counts at least in the top 20. And the points per race, it's 100 points for the winner, then 95-90, and then 2 decreasement by 2 until 40th place, then it's decreasement by 1 point. At the moment, this one competition requires 50 points per both of these races. And oh, there is a contact there between two cars. Sure there, but Clint Mueller is now very close to Fabio Zerbin. Though it's going to be a bit of an easy pass, considering the difference in strategy. Clint Mueller has a full set of tires, Zerbin doesn't. But this is for the lead, nevertheless. Saying BS Plus Competition requires 50 points per race to win the championship. And number 21 requires around 25. As Zerbin goes now in the pits. Easy, and the Podens get position done on Sidruk. We have a better view of what exactly happened here, as these two were battling since the first chicane. Side by side between number 6 and Skidmark Racing number 42. And into the inside line, Christos Podens, making it into 14th place, slightly over the curve, way more over the curve there. And now with 1 hour to go, Zerbin will probably go for a full service and then a drive-through. Same as Kinkmuller, same as Huben. Possibly same as Rodriguez. Zerbin comes out of the pits in the car number 45. In 13th place, I don't think it's Zerbin anymore. Should be Hutchinson, the car number 45. In front of the number 6. And at the end of these pit stops, it's going to be interesting to see the effective change in... Oh, Ruggero, fastest lap of the race so far. Car number 58 finds itself in 21st, but they have the fastest lap of the race so far, which is a bit of consolation prize, considering their pace. Clearly the strategy doomed them by going in the pits for wet tires for a 10/15 minutes wet track stint and going back to dry tires. That was not really a good idea. And this team was already starting in 22nd because of a traction control issue yesterday in qualifying. Now they are in 21st. In the standings, they are in... Let me have a look. I have to pick... Google can have some help. Because apart from flash banging me, didn't do anything. So, okay, in terms of standings, Agile Esports is currently in the car number 58 in 17th place. And just to let you understand, again another quick lap for them, just to let you understand how narrow the gaps are even in standings, because this grid is packed in terms of lap times. In the standings, Agile Racing is with 576 points in 17th place. Williams in 9th place has 616 points. 40 points ahead. By only 40 points they could get into the top 10 in the championship. To let's understand how close the gaps are. And remember that every single position is a 2 points increase. So they're currently in 20th. They somehow have to make as many positions as possible. It's not over till it's over, certainly. But with 51 minutes to go, I doubt they can get anything better than 15th. Next race is going to happen in, well, at the moment, in 1 hour and 40 minutes. And the grid will be fully reversed. This team still can bring something home. Just said because they clearly had a fast car every single round. But for some reasons or another, they were quite unlucky every time, finding incidents in the literal middle of the way, having strategies not really working out, but ultimately the pace is there. We saw it the whole 10 weeks technically. The whole 5 rounds. Sidorok is off! Oh, Sidorok is off! Where is he? He's somewhere. Now he's back on the racing line, but he lost the position on Sava. What just happened there? I'd like to see. Just go. Yeah, it's a bit easier. This is what happened to Skidmark Racing, number 42. This is a contact, huh? It's not a button I wanted to press, apologies. It's not a problem. We'll just go back here, apologies. Sometimes some buttons get pressed by mistake. So this is situation. They just lost the rear. Went over the curb. Oh, they lost the rear. Yeah, all on their own. While I think it was Handicap Racing trying to get back the lap on the Skidmark Racing lineup. And number 42 spun. They are now in 16th place. Nittert, last lap it was 7.4, and it's important to mention it because Wasgame lapped in a 48.2. Maybe this lap is going to be different. It's certainly going to be different because Wasgame is going to the pits. So yeah, that's as different as it can get. So all the drivers from Nittert to, I suppose, Sauer are probably going to gain a position. As Alexander Lee, Frenchman for Hoplite, in which the standings is really having a good time. They are in 6th with 632 points, only 9 points in front of LFM number 258 and 9 points behind the Visceral Esports number 44. But now they are only 17th. It will be enormous for the championship. And realistically, now they are going to make the overtake on Sidruk for 16th place. So it is 16th place, but I'm not really sure if it is the real 16th place because there are some cars that still have to pit, etc. 5-second time penalty for Aaron Ontario for a collision with Team Nitro. He's the leader, but not the leader, the second placed car. At the moment, their rivals are 201, which, luckily for them, are in 17th. The Visceral Esports number 44, which is in 9th moment. And the LFM number 258, which is now in 4th place. In that pack, the 258 is actually gaining the most. BS Plus competition is currently in 3rd place in the championship and 30 points in front of the 201. Is in 10th, so in any case, BS Plus competition is not really losing 201 because of that. Ironically, because of the contacts early on between the 201 and the BS Plus competition, the 201 was the one having the worst fate of the two, which will increase the gap between the two teams. As it stands, the BS Plus competition, even if they don't gain back some points on the top two, which, to be fair, yeah, the next race, yes, it's going to be the battle between sister teams. But if it ends like this, the next race is going to be the battle between the car number 21 and 22. Just to remain in game, BS Plus competition has to remain 14 points inside the 100. So they can't lose more than 14 points from the car number 22. Which at the moment is probably happening. A69 is not really tarmac. I'm saying that because, not because the BS Plus is in 6th, which at the moment will be 8 points lost, but because I think the BS Plus still has to go for a full service in next stop, while these two here in front have to go for a simple drive-through. I'm starting to think about all the different things that may or may not happen as Ruggero finally closed the gap to Magnani. 2-0-1, and he lose another place. 2-0-1 is very much in trouble now. You see Vado Ruggero going as quick as he can with a full serviced car, so they are both on the same tactic, but that's Ruggero gaining the place even before start finish line. That's a very unfortunate timing. And Ruggero is now in 11th place momentarily, as Nizart just came back from the pits in 10th place. Full service for this car, and now it's the time of truth, because they are all pitting with less than 48 to go, so they will not have to go for another time in the pits. Gerard Huben and King Müller will have to do it, but I'm already ruining your fun, because both the 21 and the 22 have more than a minute of advantage to Stubarak and 10 seconds on Sherratt. So if they will go for a drive-through only, which is what I think will happen, will not lose time as the 701 is in the gravel. Which are already cutting the gap to the car in front, 46.6 in the last lap. And I think it was, yes, it was the fastest car on track, the last reading. Eduardo Ruggero is flying. With only 40 minutes remain. The laps Parlamentario race car. Yeah, at this point they are trying to save whatever can be saved. 7.2 in the last lap, although I think a couple of lapped cars in the middle. Alberto Prina for Gradius competition number 203 is in 14th, just behind Crazy Life Racing number 745. Gaps have enlarged in pretty much the entirety of the field, apart from the very top. Aura Motorsport clearly had some struggles because they are now back, but on lap 55, 20 laps behind the leader. So really something happened in technical department. Huben now, leader in the championship for Nitro Racing. How to go in a battle for the lead. This is for the lead, effectively. With King Müller and Sherratt, after going for a full service, is out of the pits. The 255 is in 4th place. Last lap around it was a 6.8 for King Müller, 6.4 for Huben. Now it was a 7.3 for King Müller and a 6.6 for Huben. absolutely flying compared to the sister team. As the 204 is also in the pits. Or what I think it will be full service. It isn't, maybe. It's a full service, not a fuel service. By the way, Ruben now closely glued to King Muller. This is the battle for the lead of the race with this King Muller and Nicholas Ruben. Both of them are on the same exact tactic. They will just have to pit, well, to enter the pits another time, but possibly they will go for a drive-through or a splash and dash, and in any case they had 70 seconds of gap in front of Hutchinson. They could realistically go for an entire full service and they would still be ahead of the competition. This is how dominant they've been so far. They dominated the championship at this point. Unless a disconnection happens, these two will be the cars that will challenge themselves for the championship lead. I think Muller in the sister team is probably thinking about maybe something happens in the next race. Maybe our sister team crashes. Who knows? So they will try to defend. And until the lead is not clear, there is still a chance to make it into P1. For now they are in second place in the championship, around 50 points behind. But never say never. Never say never. For now also they are in the lead of the race. It could be their, I think, first win in the standings. Could be their first win in every race. But Ruben wants to win as many races as possible. Compromise is not an option. As the other sister team, the 23, driven by Julian Sauber at the moment, finding itself in 6th place after a full service pit stop. They've gained 21 places since the very start of the race. Not the best in that regard. Now Caracas, the visceral number 44, remains in the lead of that leaderboard with 24 positions being gained by the number 44. And also tied with the BS Plus with 21 places. As we go back to the battle for the lead. Muller against Ruben. Last lap 7.1 against a 7.0. This time 7.0 for both, but still slightly faster for Ruben. 50 milliseconds only. And there is a huge wave of back markers in front that will have to give the way to these two, because Ruben is certainly not going to wait if the opportunity arises. They have the gap to the car behind to battle and to see who is better between the two. As that battle we just passed was also not a battle for position. Oh wait, it was... no, it wasn't. It was a 201 being in 11th place. It's not battling with anybody. This is also another Gladius car just behind. And oh, these two are battling though. Crazy Life car and the Gladius 203 are battling for position. Side by side. Switchback as there also McWilliam about to lose the position on Sauer. Nothing happens here. Something happens here though. That's for 5th place. And Julian Sauer gains the place on Andrew McWilliam for Williams Team Sport. Asprina and Makovkin batting for 12th. Every position matters in the standings. There could be 200 euros of difference between making a pass and staying behind. So it's extremely important to make as many places as you can. With 34 minutes to go. Still with a good chunk of time remaining. I have to really correct myself, because after the pit stops, BS Plus finds itself in 16th. The 201 is in 11th. So in the standings is a loss of gap for BS Plus, but not a defeat altogether. There are 30 points racing around. They will lose 10. There are still 20 points that can be saved. And also remember, reverse grid. They will start ahead of their rivals. Many battles going on in the championship. As Alberto Prina now, the Italian goes. Thought he was going for a pass on the parabolica. It doesn't do so. As he remains behind. The International Endurance Series by Lian Li. Proud partner of our championship, and those links in the chat could also help you reduce your expenses, because you have a discount code to be used in caseking.de. Also buy all your products from DRS, Monza Racing, Aztec SimSport, Rosingveld, Nitro Racing, and obviously Lian Li, to help you upgrade your setup. I was looking at sometimes there was something odd, it's just a glitch, to help you upgrade your setup. So have a look, because it's all there, all in the links in chat, and make very good products. Whether you want to upgrade your voice, your chair, or your entire sim rig, those are the people you want to talk with. Last lap it was a 7.2 for both drivers, Makovkin and Prina. Now it's clear the gap has enlarged a bit. So Magnani is getting closer. That's the 201. And championship implications, because if the 201 loses positions, that will just help BS Plus behind. 203 at the moment is in... let me search for them. There are 4 teams for Gladius competitions. The 203 should be the one... or in... so... find them. What? Why I can't find the 203 in the standings? I'm pretty... probably I'm blind. Anyway, oh, that's Malquin going in on the gravel, trying to make a position in front of Magnani. He actually gets overtaken by Prina for 1 second before going back in front after defending the inside line. Ferguson remains in 12th place. still a freeway battle here for these teams with the 201 in front of the 745, who is in front of the 203 before 11th place. Last lap round, it was 8.2 for Magnani, 6.8 for Makukin, and 6.9 for Prina. Remember the 201 was way ahead early on, but just because of a contact with the BS Plus competition, they are now here in 11th. The drive-through has been issued to their name. Now Makukin passes from being chased to being the chaser, as he tries to get the position down on the pink and yellow and light blue race car. That's the Gladius retro livery. And Alberto Prina is actually bump drafting the rival. Oh, going on the grass. And Prina gained the position on their teammate, who will not be happy at all, as they are fighting for an important position in the championship. Those were 4 points being lost by Magnani, as a car is spinning in the middle of the racetrack. That's official racing number 11. Oh, the 203, I found them. They are in 33rd place in the championship. Now they are in 12th place here. And since the prize pool is given to the top 20 only, I'm quite sure that a team order will appear if needed to give the 201 as many points as possible, and to sacrifice the 203, which still sits quite behind the championship, but there is still time to make it up in front. They're in 33rd with 470 points, nearly 100 points behind the first car that has enough points for the prize pool. 5-second penalty has been issued to the car 257. Ruben here still glued to the sister team, the green layout. It's the red Team Nitro in the lead of the championship. And with 26 minutes to go, it could realistically be the battle for the lead at all. And not yet for the championship. That will be moved to the very last round, although it is a battle between teams. As BS Plus is in 16th place, they needed roughly 45 points or 50. Didn't do exactly the math. Do now. It's around 86 points of difference between the two. Yeah, around 43 points per round of advantage over the number 22. A bit less on the 40 on the 21. As Prina made the overtake on Makovkin for... Yes, it does. It actually does. The overtake on Crazy Life Racing. The 745 is now in 12th place. And really want something out of this. And then he also lost the position on Caracas. Now they are in 14th place. see the overtake here between Malkin and Prina. Making it very nice pass on the inside of turn 2. So now Magnani is only 2 places in front of Norjox. PS Plus can still have their advantage maintained. 23 minutes to go, and the pit stops for last few drivers will happen shortly, as they pitted roughly 60 minutes to go. They will pit in 10 minutes. This could be the pass for the leader. If the orange Porsche ahead will slow this duo just enough for Ruben to make it. To transform it into an advantage. The 2 cars behind were battling for on-track position. Polovchuk gaining 26th place in front of Minike, in 27th place. Which had 2 races which demolished their championship. The one on the Nordschleife, when we saw their car crashing full speed into the barriers after losing the rear, and now here 27th for them. 257 was practically challenging the podium positions. Now they are in 14th place, the championship, and this would just ruin their run even further. 7th place gives very little points. $92 to be exact. But to the leader who gains 150. Opposite sound. Points are just the participation points. It's actually a mistake. It's 100 for the winner and 42 for 27th. Skidmark Racing now is in 21st place. Early on they were in the top 10. Now they are outside the top 20. Just behind David Pertile for Team Racing Point. And for them, not the easiest race, this one here. Team Racing Point is 20th in the championship. Just on the verge for the prize pool money. After this race, the all standings will have a very different face. Many important actors are out of place, and many surprises are rejoicing from this race. For example, we have 203, which will gain an absurd quantity of points compared to their rivals. Maybe just enough to get into the top 20. And we have also some surprises like 58, who is now in the pits. Top 10 for them. Till now, they have going to the pits. This team was in 17th, entering the last chance to make as many points as possible in a very fast team. Saw them multiple times being able to battle, as Jan Draxler is now side by side with David Pertile. One too many mistakes during the championship put them out of contention for the big points Meanwhile, Lian is now back in the top 20 in the race. Just in front of Pertile and Petzold. As Pertile lets Petzold pass by. Not sure the reason for it, but maybe some incidents that happened early on. There is now back in 19th place. Gap ahead is simply an ocean. Ruben has a 74 seconds gap on Hutchinson for Visceral number 45. Visceral, who is in 10th place in the championship. So as it stands, they are going to jump a lot of positions. They are on 614 points. And Hoplite, for example, is on 632. Hoplite currently finds itself can't find them. Where are them? Ah, okay, they're in 8th place. They're in 8th place at the moment. A good chunk of points being gained and lost from many teams, as here Caracas in the 44. Still not over after gaining 26 positions from the start of the race. This team is about to get into the top 10. They were starting in 38th place. They're messing qualifying up. Now, there are just 2 seconds to get into the top 10. Number 44, who is 5th in the championship. Even for them, it's critical to get as many points as possible, and getting here, second to last race, starting in 38th was not a good starting point. But they didn't give up. They kept on going. They made places, they made overtakes, and now they are in 12th. 10th just ahead, and they have 15 minutes to make it. Although I think the Hoplite car, they still have to make a pit stop. Same goes for the number 23, same goes to the car number 22 and the 21. So maybe actually they just require a single position to get in the top 10. As Neckenburger is now very close to said number 27. Alexander Lee struggling defend Neckenburger, who goes a bit slower into the 50 chicane, possibly doesn't think he has the opportunity now, or even better, he thinks he had the position already. Well, it's true, but a good overtake is always a good overtake to be seen. Makovkin here, still battling with Prina for the top 10. Last lap it was a 7.6 for Prina, 7.2 for Makovkin, and 7.8 for Caracas. As a matter of fact, number 23 goes into the pits, same goes for number 27. That's why Neckenburger never attempted a pass, because it was completely useless to go for an overtake. And both Kinkmuller and Ruben are also going into the pits. Will it be for the drive-thru? Will it be for just fuel? We will see shortly. Luna is now in 8th place, Markovkin in 9th, Karikas in 10th place. So they already have the 10th place, because Sauer stopped in for some fuel. Let's... Ooh, look at this! Race out of the pits. Ruben didn't make it. Kinky Müller did. Both had the same exact time in the pits stationary, 11.4 seconds. So fuel only for them, obviously. Kinky Müller still leads. Ruben still behind. And Rajali Racing again proving their point. Fastest race car of the field, 45.877. It's possible, probably it's even worse to see that they are the quickest car, because it all becomes a what if at this point. What if that pit stop never happened? What if the rain never happened? This could have been a jackpot for them, very likely. Now it will be a half jackpot. They will start very, very high in the grid. But read that. Because by arriving 19th or maybe 18th, they will start very high on the grid. What could have been without that pit stop in the rain? Maybe a bit of a panicked pit stop, as Panfilov gets the overtake down on Magnani, the 201. After going in the pits for a splash and dash. I was correct, that's why... Okay. I was indeed correct, that's why early on I said it about the BS Plus competition. The 201 still had to go the pits another time. So the 201 is now in 19th place, so that's why they weren't really fighting with their Lister team. Apologies on that, but I simply lost track of pit stops. The T01 is 19th place. The BS Plus competition is in 13th. Altogether, it's going well, considering everything that happened early on. But here is the battle for the lead. Kinky Müller for B-Alien and Nitro Concept and Team Nitro, apologies. Sponsored by Nitro Concept in car number 22 in second place. Last lap it was completely useless to be red. Number 44, look at it. Look at it. 28 places gained. Huh. That's actually a comeback. That's actually my car of the day. Absolute performance from their side. Ooh, Jackenburg is off. Yellow flags appeared on Burger's name. Huh? Something clearly happened here to the car number 58. Huh? Have a look. Exactly happened. Also drive through for the car number 202. For what I think it is track limits. Yeah, all on their own. Huh? And they just stopped. Okay, that was very odd. That was really, really odd. Apparently just stopped in the middle of the corner. Because funnies. That's why. So here it's another battle between the B-Alien, but the Unity. Car number 39. So there was a drive-through for the car number 202 for track limits. Car number 46, 112, and car number 20 all had a drive-through the last half hour. As Rajoli Racing makes another pass, this time it is for 17th place on Eric Haim for Fisher Racing, number 93. will stay with this battle for 11th. Julian Sauer, it's very close. Look at the rear, how much it lifts off from the usual full throttle aerodynamic configuration. A lot of rake. Clean setup are very loose for these drivers. A very high rear end gets squished into the ground on the full throttle phases, and that's Malinowski about to lose the place on Julian Sauer. More contact between the two cars. Julian Sauer will make it into the 11th place, although it's not over because this car here, the number 39, is still battling. Can he make it back into 11th? We'll stay in 12th. He's on the outside. It's a chicane, so technically they both have the inside in one of the points. Contact between the two. The 23 is into the gravel, and Malinowski gets back into 11th. Although, no, now Jax gets position down on Sauer. So the number 89 is now in 12th place. And 11th place is just 7 tenths away. As Hutchinson goes into the pits. Then car number 45, they are just 7 minutes short on the pits. Disaster for this team, they were in third. They were in third place. And now they are going to lose 30 seconds because of the drive-thru. They were just too short on the stints. It wasn't a drive-thru for extreme track limits or anything, it was a drive-thru because they had to do it because of stint timers. Regulations. So they are now in 7th place. Boothby in the 255 competition, number 255, is in 3rd. And McWilliam is in 4th in the Williams car. But you can see here the gap between the two is, well, 1 centimeters earlier. Now it's a couple of meters at best. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to the end of the race. Ken Huben make it into 1st place. To enlarge the gap to the sister team, number 21. Or will Kinkmuller have the first win of the season here? 6 minutes to go, roughly 3 to 4 laps remaining. The Lian Black Porsche lapped with a 7.2 in the last lap, 6.7 for Huben. Since Huben has a better shot at it. Starting in 4th, now they are in 2nd. 34 seconds in front of the closest person, who is George Boothby. Not really Mr. Nobody. And still, they made 34 seconds in 3 hours. Now, they're fighting against themselves. The only people that can battle with this team are their teammates. Currently in the lead of the race, the car number 21. Maxing timer is 48 minutes, but max driving time is 70 minutes. So that's why the strategies were a bit odd this time around because of that. Last time it was a 7.1 for Kinkmuller, 7.2 for Huben. Meanwhile, in the backyard of the field, in 11th place, Malinowski still tries to gain as many points as possible, but both Najox and Sauer are extremely interested in stealing position number 11 with less than 5 minutes to go. Two battles going on, two important battles, because the BS Plus competition is in third in the championship. They need as many points as possible. They will not reach the top 2 in the championship, that's for certain, but they will at least be safer for their third position. Oh, that was extremely close between Sauer and Najox, nearly a crash between the two cars. We saw that went deep in the brakes, way too late, nearly made contact with Najox, who is now free from looking at the mirror. And he can just look forward, as you can see, going on the right side of the track. And he gain 11th place, and starting in 37th place. After getting thrown out of the racing line, literally, into the barriers. They are now in 11th place. And just behind, the battle for the lead still goes on. Number 21, first place. Number 22, second place. It could be the first win for Bernd, Tascher and Kingsmüller. But the whole championship helping their teammates. It could be a little prize for them. With 3 minutes to go. Can they maintain the lead against objectively the strongest team in the field? As I said earlier, the only people that can beat them, the car number 22, are their teammates in the car number 21. This is how strong this team is at the moment. Their academy team is in 13th, and it's an academy. I am scared of what can come out of Lian. Speaking of which, have a look at this, because they are making the position on Malinovsky. That's for 12th place, just before entering Parabolica. Keeping the inside line, as Nojox already flew away, gaining an entire second and a half in the matter of a single lap. 6.8. Unfortunately, there is not enough time, otherwise the top 10 would have been a possibility. And in one lap remain. To know who will win. Second to last race. White flag! Brought to you by Lian Li. The last minute and 46 seconds. Last dash for these two to understand who will win the first of the two 3-hour races. Will it be Huben or will it be Kingsmüller? But if you can, it's gone. Second opportunity comes here into the second chicane. Not close enough. Over the curbs. Has to be perfect. They both made it perfectly. I don't know what's happening in the tower. Nothing to get worried about. Interismo 1. Interismo 2. Gap is actually going larger. Oh, look at that! Grosjean busted into the pits. They can't make it to the end. Just before ending the race, another surprise happened. The car number 55 is into the pits. They will lose 30 seconds by a single lap. Still ahead out of Ascari. Smalinowski is out of fuel. I think they are out of fuel. What's happening here? Everything is unfolding just at the very end of the race. Smalinowski is not having a good time. He's currently in 14th, but here comes the leader of the race and their teammates. Nils Kingsmüller will end the race in first place, and they will win the first of the two races. Niklas Huben will end the race in second, and Malinovsky, I think they are out of fuel because now they are in 14th place, and they were in 12th early on. 255 competition. Third place, 36 seconds behind. And they will complete the podium for the first of the two races. Smoothy goes over the line. Williams Simsport in 4th place, with Schneckenburger driving in the 258 LFM Esports. 5th place for them. Hutchinson is the visceral car in 6th, but it's not over yet. Look at this, there is still a battle for position. That's for 7th place. Alberto Prina remains on the inside of the Parabolica, just in front of Makufkin, barely in front of Makufkin. That was for 7th and 8th place, with Caracas just completing the race in 9th place for Visceral Esports, number 44. Veloce only in 10th. They're going into the pits. This was competition narrowly behind. 11th place for them. Winner in the 255 competition, number 256 in 12th. The last car on the lead lap is Alexander Le for Hoplite. Still think maybe a remains. Nobody remains. Just be sure. A 5 penalty. Triple 2 also had a 5-second penalty, so they will be put in 19th place. And Menike in the 257 will remain second place. And this was just the first of the two races. And in short time we will have the second race that will be brought to you by John Wright, the Scottish commentator. And let me just see if... Okay. Let me just... Okay, thanks. The replay. Let's pick the car number 21, or rather the 5. So we will start with them. Voila. Way back. Okay. Go back to Disco because we have the interview time with our podium finisher. It's going to be a very short interview since they have to be prepared for the next race. Are these updated? Yes, they are. Look at this. So BS Plus officially out of contention for the win. Team Nitro and the Alien by Nitro concept will be the only two cars that will battle for the lead in the championship. Then 201 is now in 5th place, not even 4th. So complete revolution for the podium. Well, for the battle for the podium, rather. After, let's get a better look at this. Just give me a couple of seconds because it's updating. Even on the website. Quick. Of Google that takes 42 years to update. Thank you a lot. So Team Nitro is ahead of everybody else with 910 points. B Alien by Nitro Concept car number 21 with 868. BS Plus competition with 203. So completely out of contention for the lead of the championship. Visceral Esports car number 44 is now in 4th place 8 points in front of the Gladius 201. The LFM 258 is in 6th. Williams Sim Racing is in 7th with 754 points, just 2 in front of Hoplite, who lost a couple of positions. Visceral 45 is now in 9th, just in front of the 255 by Ghost Setups, number 255. And Lian Academy also gained a place on the Judging Committee team. Okay, let's go into the interview. Also into here, because we'll start with Josh Booby. And only one of them is here. Okay. Just be sure to pick the correct people to avoid. See here. Okay. I will start with our third place finishers, or rather finisher at this point. Because welcome in the commentary booth.
Hello.
Hello. And third place for your team.
Yeah, really happy with that. We've had a bit of a tough season, so we came into this round just wanting to have some fun, and it's a very unique car track combo, especially now with the reverse grid as well. It's going to be crazy. So we just wanted to have some fun, and that's what we did. And I think we did really well. I think we all had good pace, and yeah, podium is more than we could have asked for.
Yeah, now you are in the podium, and thanks to this podium, you are now inside the top 10 in the championship. And it's going to be a quick interview because you have very little time to get prepared. So just one question. Now you're starting at the very tail end of the grid, practically on the next race, and you have to defend your top 10 in the championship. What's the plan?
I'm just gonna send it. I want to. Okay. I don't care. Just whatever happens, happens. You know, maybe we go up in the championship, maybe we go down. Let's just have a good laugh and put on a good show.
I like your optimism. I really hope. I really hope the race will be interesting because it's going to be a mess. Let's say it.
Yeah. Well, if you see yellow flag turn 1, it's probably going to be us. So, okay. But hopefully we'll be okay.
Hopefully, yeah. So, yeah. Final words about this championship. How did it go so far? And well, what do you expect from the last race?
Our championship has been a bit up and down. We've had unfortunately we had a few people that, like, so me was one, I couldn't do one round, and then we had another round where one of our members weren't here, so it just meant that we're always on the back foot, and it just went from being near the front of the championship to dropping back a lot. But it is what it is. It's just one of those things, and we're still here. We're showing up, having fun, doing our best, and yeah, it's been a really fun championship. I think it's been great. I like all the different stuff. It's a lot different to others, and like I say, especially this reverse grid we're about to do, and this is my bread and butter. I do last to first quite a lot, so in daily races on LFM. So I'm hoping I can use that experience to go through the field, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, thank you, and well, have some fun in 40 minutes.
Yep, thank you very much.
Bye. Oh, that was 5 competition interview. Then just give me a second to get the current leader in the championship, but the Red Devil, how I like to call it, in front. This, yes, and I need to see who exactly I have to pick. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Welcome in the commentary booth. But again, at this point, it's more a recurring journey than anything else. And congratulations for the second place. And the championship lead now just goes on. Cool.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So now you are practically safe from everybody else because the closest car is your sister car in the car number 21. And effectively, BS Plus competition can't, even if you literally don't race, can't get your place. So, did you expect it at the start of the championship? And how will you take the remainder of the 3 hours, considering the only real opponent is your sister team?
Actually, I'm a bit surprised by that. I didn't calculate it myself, but yeah, I didn't expect that at all because the point distribution is very equal, so every position counts. Yeah, but we saw in this race is quite hectic in the traffic all the time, so it definitely will be a lot of fun in the next race going forward.
Yeah, obviously, it's going to be just a short interview because you have to be prepared in 20 minutes time. So it's going to be just a quick one to assess everything. The next 3 hours will be not fundamental considering you have a good lead, but if you can't DNF, like you still have to compete. And I really hope you get the prize because you honestly have been the dominant team. Did you expect to be so dominant from the start of the championship, or was it already, let's say, expected to be in a good place?
I mean, certainly we hoped for winning the championship and for fighting at the front, but I think these kind of results with all the consistency at the same time was not expected from us because there's still a lot of good teams on the grid. Yeah, so even today with the cup car where everybody has equal chances, we are also a bit surprised about the gaps, but I think it's also down to strategy as a little bit because you can do a lot of interesting things today with the way the rules are. But yesterday we saw also in qualifying that the pace is pretty close for most cars. So yeah, it's just about getting it together, I guess.
Well, thank you, and let's go for a final round because 3 hours remain till the end of the championship, and you're in a pretty good position. So, good luck. You don't really actually need any luck. You just you are good enough without luck, and yeah, congratulations again for the second place in this race, and have fun in the final round.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. And these were cars, the drivers in the car number 22. Again, a little change to do things good way. Speak them. Voila. Okay. There. Oh, this is good. Let's go live. Here we are with the winners from the afternoon's race. And well, I think it is the first win in the whole championship that you achieved. And well, congratulations on it because it was a fantastic run.
Thank you. It's time that we have now the first win. Big thank you to my team, to Michael, to Lian, and yeah.
I hear your voice a bit tired. I think I can hear the tiredness coming out of your voice. So how effectively, this is an important question. How hard was it to defend against your sister team for the whole time?
Brutal. They are so quick. They're leading the championship by far. You know, they are quick, and you look in the mirrors in the straight. They're coming closer. But in the end, I finished in front of him. But I also know that Niklas didn't go for the win.
Well, now there is a second race. You are starting literally dead last. I want to say it's going to be slightly dangerous starting last in Monza. But how do you think it will go?
Michael will drive. I think we have an expert here. I hope he will do a good stint and then we're in front, but it will chaotic. Yeah, Michael, do you want to say something?
Uh,
What your strategy is?
I mean, I'm just hoping for wets, to be honest. So I don't know, just try to go for it, and then
You're just hoping for the chaos to happen and to unfold so you can gain
yeah,
as much time
yeah,
as possible. Okay?
chaos. And I think in wets it's like not many people can drive in a wet, so maybe the pace difference is a little bit bigger. And yeah,
Yeah, making
so
overtakes on the wet is also slightly harder, but it's going to be fun for the commentaries. That's for certain. That's for certain.
yeah, you gotta commit.
Just send it. If you don't break, too bad.
You know, I think I'm looking forward to it. Let's hope it's going to be wet, and then let's see what we can get.
Well, obviously it's difficult, but maybe you will get 2 wins in a row. Who knows? Maybe something happens. You still are in the battle for the championship, although you are a bit far away, but technically, mathematically speaking, you still are inside the battle for the championship. So never say never. Just do your best. And who knows, maybe you have just enough luck to get P1 in the championship.
Yeah, to be honest, we're just looking for P2 because PS competition is too far behind us. So
Yeah, literally, they can't win the championship, and they are 65 points behind you.
yeah, I think we're gonna settle for P2. I think our sister car has to disconnect. I don't know. Very unlikely, but yeah.
Good G1.
Now that you said it, it's going to happen. Anyway, good luck for the remainder of the next 3 hours. And, well, see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So, this was our winning team. Team Nitro number... It's the Notchlife, I don't know the Notchlife. Yeah, okay, way better. This was BL by Nitro Concepts, ending the race ahead by just 3 tenths of a second on Team Nitro. 258 competition just behind Williams Sim Racing, and then LFM Sports number 258. Now, in a short time, the next stream is going to start with John Wright at the booth, and we'll just stop the stream for 10 minutes because we have to upload it on YouTube. And just 10 minutes, and everything will be back online. I'm Cristian Romano. It was a pleasure being the commentary for these races. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed my commentaries. But for this season, for me, it's the end. Your right will be your head commentary person until the end of the championship in 3 hours' time. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world, and well, see you next time. Bye.